Hey, I am happy to welcome Scott Peterson, co-developer of the RBC Gateway Tower in downtown Minneapolis. Scott is also the United Properties Vice President of Hospitality and Office Development. Hey, Scott, thanks for being here.
Thank you for having me. Excited.
Yeah, awesome, of course. So tell me about the RBC Gateway. What makes it unique?
Yeah, so RBC Gateway is it's a mixed use project, and for those of you that aren't familiar with it, it's 37 stories tall. It's 4 levels of podium level, which is primarily amenity space, with 16 floors of Class A office, 8 floors of a Four Seasons hotel, 222 room hotel, and then 6 floors of high end private condos on the top. And so, unlike a traditional office building that maybe is just office users, that has an activity pedestrian traffic pattern of maybe 7 in the morning till 6 at night. And unlike a straight condo type project that maybe has a pedestrian traffic pattern of, they arrive in their car, they go up their elevator, and it's kind of closed door environment inside their unit. By being mixed use and combining all of those uses together, and then especially putting a hotel in the middle of it, it's a 24-hour, 7-day-a-week world. And it's really a city connected and inside of a building with when you start integrating those type of uses. So it's unique from a development standpoint, and it's by far one of the newest mixed use developments done here downtown Minneapolis.
Cool. Yeah, I saw it has a 95% occupancy rate. What do you think is driving that? Why is it bucking local occupancy trends?
Yeah, so obviously, we were very fortunate to bring some big leases with us that were kind of the catalyst for us breaking ground on this project. I think if you go back and look in the last 24 months, 36 months, and you look at what's happened in the office market from an absorption standpoint, and you look at where leases have occurred, and then you tie those leases back to the age of the asset or building or the class of the asset, ABC, you'll see this trend towards quality. You'll see this trends towards technology based. And I think that's one of the things that drove people here to RBC.
Yeah, cool. And really I'm curious about the inspiration for the RBC Gateway. What drove that development? Why did your team decide that this was a strong investment?
Yeah, so this project required years and years of pre-development efforts. There's a formal RFP by the city. The vision of the project is really driven by Bill Catter and Rick McKelvey from kind of a pre-development standpoint. And then the commitment is really from the Pohlad family, right? The commitment is to deliver a world-class asset into this market and deliver it as a staple to downtown. The Four Seasons brand and flag as a hotel partner, as well as a private condo. We spent a lot of time. I mean, that's a very strong brand. It's a very strong flag. It's got worldwide recognition. And in our opinion, it really is top of the class. It sets the bar and sets the standard in hospitality. And that was a key point for us inside of this mixed use development.
Yeah. With the years of pre-development, were there concerns as COVID started to really impact hospitality downtown specifically?
Yeah, I think everybody had concerns. I mean, I think everyone's been wrong about COVID numerous times over, right? I mean, I thought it was a 30-day deal, then a 90-day deal, then a 9-month deal, right? I mean, so I just think, no one's smart enough to understand kind of those unintended consequences and some of those trickle down effects that happen, for society shifting. I still think it's still shifting a little bit. So yeah, I mean, there was worries, but I think, being supported by the Pohlad family that, from an investment standpoint, is long-term money holding, patient money, that allowed us to really still pursue the deal and do it right. I mean, we cut really zero corners as we delivered this asset. And hospitality is coming back, right? Travel's coming back. You mentioned earlier, we're 95% leased. So we feel very, very good about where the development ended up. We've been able to maintain our schedule through all of this from a construction standpoint, which has been very important to us as well.
Yeah. Now that speaking a little more generally about downtown, pandemic restrictions have eased. People are back in the offices. How have you seen the downtown market change in recent months?
Yeah, it's great. I mean, it's great to see people walking downtown. I think it's a combination of pent up demand. People just want to get out. I think it's a byproduct of warm spring weather. I think Minnesotans in general are just resilient, right? I think those three forces coming together, all are positive and benefits. I think getting back to kind of the office and a lot of people coming downtown, I think the pandemic has brought two facts to clarity, right? One being offices are important and people need to come to the office, and we need to have a place that we can grow a culture, that we can have strategic meetings at. And flexibility is important, right? And so I think those two things have come up, and I think they're clear. I think every company is dealing with it, but we're excited to see the activity downtown.
Yeah. Are you downtown right now? Are you guys back?
Yeah, I am. We're actually, United Properties moved into level 5, the first office floor of the RBC Gateway project. So we're down here full time, and the hotel is scheduled to open up June 1.
June 1st. Cool. So also tourism is starting to bounce back, which is great for hotels. What are you seeing with business travel?
Yeah, we definitely think business travel is going to come back. A quick kind of fact to support that is, we are right now on our preliminary pre-opening books for the hotel. We've had great penetration into corporate accounts for a hotel that's not even open, right? And so what that basically means is that the on group books reservations that we have as a percentage against our competition is already outperforming the basic market. So we think the Four Seasons brand is just bringing new people into this market, new companies into it. I would also say that, as we start seeing corporate travel lifted and bans lifted, C-suites, CEOs, that caliber travel people are typically the first ones released. Those are typically some of the guests we would pursue to be there at Four Seasons. Business travel, the dynamics have shifted a little bit. Typically a reservation window for a corporate traveler is 45 days. We've seen that window come down as tight as 21 days right now. So it's there. I think it's got some shifts and some tweaks. I think combining corporate travel to your earlier comment about, kind of what's happening in the office world. I think, if you were doing a trip every month to this city and now you're going to do a trip every other month or every quarter, I think that trip's gotten longer. Instead of you're in and out in 24, 36 hours, you're there for 3, 4, 5 days, and you're spending more time being more productive when that team is together. And so that correlates to a longer stay, that correlates to a longer, food and beverage use of our hotel, and all those different components as well.
Yeah. So why do you think specifically some of these higher class properties are doing better?
Yeah. So, I think from a standpoint of, if you go back and look at just kind of high net worth, or if you go back and look at diverse income streams, people that had diverse income streams through the pandemic, or people that had high net worth, typically their net worth probably went up based on some of the metrics that have happened, interest rates, stock markets, et cetera. And so the leisure market's been strong. It remains strong. It's very strong. And I think that's what's done well here. And I think when you look at, if you're going to go spend your money to be somewhere, you want the best quality and the best service. And that's kind of what that Four Seasons brand stands for.
Yeah. Cool. So with those luxury properties weathering the pandemic a little better than others, what do you think is the future of some of these downscale offices, hotels, apartments, downtown specifically?
Yeah, that's a great question. I do think you're going to see some repositioning, right? I think you'll see some assets repositioned. I think you'll get outdated 1970, 80 product will get repositioned, or we'll get facelifts type components of it. I think some of that will happen, especially as the core comes back alive. And we're excited to see that.
Yeah. What are you expecting yourself? Are the things you're specifically looking at? I know a lot of offices have moved to the suburbs, and then just hotels. There's just a lot of conversations about what can happen with hotels. What are you thinking for offices? What is your company looking at?
Yeah, so let's look at Gateway as kind of our real life case study. So as an example, we're opening June 1. We already have a full asset sellout for the hotel in October, right? So literally a group is coming in, they're buying every single hotel room for numerous nights. They're renting every single meeting space, and they're buying out facilities that they don't even intend to use, like the spa. And so that's a case study that says this city needs this type of asset, that there's a demand for this type of asset, and that's what supports us. We also look at, the fact that we were to open and stabilize a Class A office in the pandemic. We think there is a future in office if it's new and it's being thoughtfully designed and curated to accommodate what the future of office looks like. Maybe that's, hoteling, maybe that's remote working, maybe that's shared spaces. I mean, each company is, I think, still evaluating that from a, how much square footage does each employee need? One benefit we have here at the RBC Gateway is if you're space planning your individual office floor, we're encouraging you not to spend the money to go space plan maybe a state-of-the-art boardroom where you would have to cater food and cater drinks when we've already built one down on the Four Seasons Hotel, right? So literally you could come out of your elevator bank on your office floor, go down to the banquet space and have a world-class conference room that doesn't impact your square footage, makes you probably more efficient on your lease footprint of your office space, but still provides that amenity and that use for you.
Yeah. So you think there's even a future in the central business district here?
I do. Yes.
Yeah. Cool. Is there anything else you want to add that I didn't ask about?
I think, just talking about a couple things, that we've spent a lot of time on is kind of the story of Four Seasons, right? What does it mean? And you hear things like, well, you can get a cheeseburger and a martini at 2 a.m. just because you can, right? I mean, it is a staffing and service oriented offering. I mean, we're right now we've had great feedback from the city, great feedback from the communities on hiring. We've hired just under 200 people to date. We're trying to get to 220 people for our opening. And to put that in perspective, I mean, that's basically one full-time equivalent employee to each guest room. That's a ratio that's really high. Now we're fine with that, and we want that because of the level of service we're delivering. But there's very few competitors in this market that I think would even approach that type of ratio, right? So it is a service standard of it. And I'll tell you a quick story. We have an office in Denver, and so every time I go to Denver, I try to stay at the Four Seasons there, and I've been staying there for now probably 4 years. And every time I stay, I get a Wall Street Journal, and they know I like a Wall Street Journal. And they just informed me the last time I was out there, the GM was joking with me that they're a paperless hotel. They don't even carry Wall Street Journals, right? But the profile comes up in their morning meetings. This guest gets this guest gets this, and they are literally going out to get things to accommodate your needs as a guest, right? And it's not just what are your needs, it's anticipating your needs, right? I never get a bill for a Wall Street Journal. That's not what it's about, right? And so we spend a lot of time focusing on what that offering is and how do we place that inside of this market. And another thing that we think, from we kind of break down our primary targets on the hotel and our primary clients to kind of corporate travel, right? And so corporate travel, it's about time and it's about convenience. And so right now, the way we're set up is if a corporate travel stays in one of our suites, we offer complimentary shuttle services, right? And that could be, think of there's 18 Fortune 500 companies in Minneapolis or in the state of Minnesota, 3M, General Mills, Medtronic, all those kind of campuses are just on the edge of downtown, right? So if you stay with us, and it's important, we offer complimentary shuttles to and from those meetings, which we think is a good, unique offering. And then from a leisure, we talked about leisure. I mean, there's a huge pent up demand for leisure, and that's all about the experience, right? And it's all about relaxation and going to the spa, and then kind of the unexpected delights that you get. And so one concept we've talked about is, maybe there's a chocolate and strawberry button that you just push, and the red light goes up and it lights up in the in-room dining kitchen, and they make your strawberries and chocolates and champagne, and then bring it up, and it's in your room within 15 minutes, right? So it's just some of those unique offerings as we kind of tell the story of how this asset fits into this market.
Yeah, cool. I need one of those buttons.
We all do.
Yeah, for real. Great, Scott. I don't think I have any other questions. If you don't have anything else you wanted to add.
No, I think that's great. We're excited about the project. Obviously, we're developing in our hometown. The Pohlads have a huge tradition here. We think we've truly designed this to bring everyone together, right? I mean, we bring together coffee drinkers, sports fans, business people, foodies, residents, global travelers, and you'll see that when you come into the building. We've got 3 main lobbies that all connect in one major artery. We've got floor to ceiling glass, big high. I mean, the whole building has been designed to really just bring people together.
Yeah, cool. Well, thanks for taking the time and talking to us.
Absolutely. Thank you as well. Have a great day.
All right, you too. Take care.